We were talking about how the street photographer phenomenon is absolutely peaking. You know, this morning watching the hysteria of all these people, like all these people swarming. I just thought someone's going to get run over, someone's going to get trampled. It's this funny thing. Did these people crave to be part of this phenomenon? Is there some kind of use for the material that they're creating? Is there something I don't know that's going on? We first started filming fashion. Just first started going backstage in 1989. And there would be, you know, maybe 3 crews backstage at a fashion show. And then the supermodel thing happened. And suddenly there were 300 crews backstage.
A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do.
Wearing clothes, really. We don't like wearing clothes, no, that's a joke.
Naomi, behave yourself.
That was the sort of earlier version of this phenomenon, when something relatively a new way of looking at fashion exploded. The funny thing about the supermodel phenomenon when it first kicked off, well, not the funny thing, but the obvious thing, was that Hollywood wasn't giving people glamour anymore. Hollywood wasn't giving people star quality. It was giving people very earnest, brown rice, no knickers, kind of, I don't wear makeup and blah, blah, blah. You know, people love glamour, and especially when there's hard times, people seem to gravitate towards glamour. I guess because it's part of escape. You know, if you think about traditionally through the way the movie industry had these kind of moments of these unearthly stars were always coincided with an economic depression. And I think that's what happened in the early 90s because there was a recession. And fashion offered this incredible escape. And, you know, Linda Evangelista was like this goddess. And I think times are hard again, but the escape route is not you being taken somewhere where you'd never get to go. It's you kind of being involved now. Everyone is involved. I think what's more bizarre is now that the sort of number of photographers has kind of outstripped the people, and so you see the most banal people being photographed.
I feel that anyone who dresses with the intention to get photographed will not get photographed by the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's rather elitist. I mean, who are the right people?
Well, I never dressed up to be photographed, and I don't go to all the shows and think, okay, what am I going to be photographed in today? Because then for me that would be not genuine at all.
I mean, Bill Cunningham was obviously the first, but think of how many years Bill Cunningham was doing that. He shot in a different way, the things he was interested in. Tommy, he's an incredibly good photographer, incredibly good at capturing the essence of something.
Fast Furious.
And he has his favorites. And so to be photographed by him, you know, I've heard all sorts of funny stories about what people will do to get photographed by Tommy, but who obviously caught when they're it's just, I find it so kind of embarrassed. I just get so embarrassed for them.
Well, it feels like perhaps there's a little bit of peacocking going on now, and you know, people are coming to stand outside the shows or attend the shows just to get photographed.
I think, like, you know, everything, it has to be measured. There's a lot of bad blogs, but there are some great ones. We have to do with what we're given and embrace all the new ways. The beauty of blogging is that it's so democratic.
Maybe it's more approachable for viewers to identify with street style than a magazine shoot. They're dressed well, it's out there, it's easy access, you know where the shows are. I mean, I think for a lot of young photographers, this is kind of a way to get into the business.
I thought, yeah, it's a great thing because I saw myself on the blogs and each season more and more. And of course now it's one of the strategies. And I always say in all the interviews that it's a great opportunity for the young designers who have no budget for advertisement, is the best way, of course. Because of the immediacy, a designer can go online and know exactly what people think about it.
For us, it's really important for us to see the clothes that we're showing. You usually just see on a runway, on a model, in real life, to see it on a person, to see them wearing it kind of in their own way, in their own personal style. Has always been really kind of personally satisfying for us.
It's just really interesting for us when we design something. We kind of think about it as like a look usually.
I mean, it keeps on increasing. It becomes like sometimes absurd numbers of bloggers outside the shows. You wonder, like how much information they can get of the exact same pictures of the same people all over again every season. But it's a side of the industry that is increasingly growing, and they bring something to the table, the bloggers.
And then the other hilarious thing is bloggers taking photos of each other, which I find endlessly amusing.
Every other season I'm normally quite obliging because I guess I know what it's like on the other side and what they're trying to do.
So I started looking at the photos that I had taken in 2007 and 2008 and almost brought a tear to my eye seeing the Tuileries just absolutely empty. Brought back a time when I could just sort of walk up to anybody, Anna Delarusso or Corinne or Emmanuelle, Kate, and just say hi, how's it going? Build a rapport with the people I was photographing. And now it's become like trench warfare.
Problem is there are so many photographers right now. They never say where they're from or what they're doing it for, and you don't recognize them, and they also ask you at the most inconvenient of times.
I found it charming, and I thought for so many different kinds of people to be so enthusiastic about fashion, to have this level, this energy, this kind of enthusiasm that's good for the industry. This season, I just thought, oh, enough. I've thought about this a lot, why this is the way it is now. Well, it's part of reality TV. It's part of no secrets about anything anymore because of Facebook and stuff like that. It's a world where everything is just on display the whole time. Everybody has a blog, everybody has a Facebook site, everybody, this, that, the other thing. You can be part of the dialogue, you're part of the process. I think in a funny way it's empowering, but it's empowering in the way that reality TV has been empowering, that it elevates, it makes monsters. It doesn't make gods, it makes monsters. It's coarsened, but that's always the process, isn't it, with everything? I mean, you can't think of any leap forward that at some will leap forward, but that wasn't at some point, didn't at some point become a kind of parody of itself. But then what happens next?
Please. What do you think here? Thank you. How are you? I see you broke out. One more time. Please, look at me, please. Please. One more. Thank you. Please, yes. Please, look at me. Look up here. Yes, thank you. Please. What do you think here? Thank you.